Video, we're going to do the pivot method. This one I want to go a little bit slower because it is a little confusing. So the first thing that we're going to do is line up the center front so it's on a set of dots. Now, we have to decide what marking or where we want the new dart. Okay, this is the original dart. So where do we want to move it to? So I'm going to move it to the number 3 position. So I'm going to make a little mark where that number 3 position is right there. Okay, so now when we're pivoting or marking, no matter what position you're doing, we always start at letter A. So we're always going to start at letter A. And then we're always going to go counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. And we're going to stop at the number 3 position. We're stopping at number 3. Okay, and then we're going to mark the apex. So far, this is all you have. Okay, so we're going to lay this down. Now we're going to do the pivot. So we're going to put our pencil in the apex, and we're going to pivot. So we're kind of spinning this so that B is right on top of A. B is on top of A, just like that. Okay? So now, do you see where number 3 is? It's moved. So we're going to start at 3. So I'm making a mark there so I know that's number 3. And then I'm going to continue tracing. So I'm holding on to the pattern, and I'm going to trace all the way around till I get to letter B. To letter B, and then I stop. So now when I lift, as you can see, we've closed A and B. We closed it up, and now it opened at number 3. Now it's open. So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the legs of the dart in, just like we've been doing, to the apex. Okay, so now we're going to create the dart. So again, the dart is going to be 1 inch in, but because this is the half scale, we're going to come in only a 1/2 inch. And we're going to make a mark, find the center, and that's the vanishing point. Now we're going to draw the legs of the dart in from the vanishing point to our new opening, and then from the vanishing point to our new opening. Okay, now you'll notice that this dart is going around the body. It's going across the body. So that means the excess paper is going to fold down. So this excess paper is going to fold down. So the leg of the dart that I'm going to crease is the leg that's closest to down, or closest to the waist. So I'm going to crease on that leg from the vanishing point and then all the way across like that. Then my finger goes right on the apex. Okay, and it goes on the vanishing point. And then I'm going to pinch so that this leg is on top of this leg. And then I'm going to crease, and then that's where I get that little, that's where I get that cup. Okay, so now when I turn this over, you'll see that the excess paper is now folded down. Okay, it's all folded down to the waist. And there's the waist. Okay, so I want to shape the seam. So I'm going to take my tracing wheel and I'm going to trace right over center front. That's where my paper is folded on. And right where the paper is folded, just right there. Then when I open it up, you'll see these dots, and those are a shaped seam now. So now I'm going to fill that in. Okay, and there's my pivot method, so I didn't have to use any tape. Okay, so now we want to put in markings. Okay, so our markings are really important. So the first thing is that every dart has a drill hole. So this is the vanishing point of the dart. The drill hole is always going to be a 1/2 inch into the dart, a 1/2 inch, right in the center there. So that's the drill hole. So when I'm putting in markings, I want to circle that drill hole. Then my grain line, because this is split in the middle here, I'm going to make the grain line always has to be parallel to either center front or center back. So I'm only going to make it parallel to center front from the waist up to the dart. So we're just going to draw that line in all the way across. We're going to put in arrows so that we know that that's a grain line and not a place where the cutter is going to end up cutting off. Then the other markings is going to be the style number or your name. So I'm going to put my name or just name. What this pattern piece is called. So this is a front. And the dart that we pivoted is the number 3. So I'm just going to put front number 3. The size is an 8. This is actually a half scale of a size 8. So it is really an 8. And then how many are we cutting? We're going to cut 1 self. And that is because this is on the fold. So we want to make sure we write that so they know that that's on the fold. Okay, so that's the first dart. I'm going to do another one.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do another one just so that you can see how to fold the dart when it's going up and down the body. So again, we're going to do the number 5 position. So we're going to mark where number 5 is. My pattern is on a set of dots, center front here. Okay, again, we start at letter A, always at A. That's where we start. And we always go counterclockwise. So we're going to go counterclockwise and trace all the way up and then around the neck. And we stop. We're going to stop at number 5. Okay? All right, so now we're going to mark the apex. And we're going to put our pencil in the apex. And then we're going to pivot. So what we're doing is placing B on top of A. B on top of A. Now, do you see where 5 is? 5 has moved. So we start at 5. And we continue tracing across the shoulder, around the armhole, and down the side seam. And then we're going to trace the waist all the way to letter B. The waist to letter B. Okay, so you can see now that we've closed the A and B. This dart is now closed. And it's open at the number 5 position. It looks really weird. So we're going to draw those legs in and it's going to look a little bit better. So from this mark here, I'm going to draw a straight line to the apex. And then from this mark, I'm going to draw a straight line to the apex. Okay. So the dart, again, is going to be from the apex, the vanishing point, 1 inch up. For these little guys here, we're going to go, we're just going to bring that 3/4 up. 3/4 up. And then I'm going to find the center and make a mark. Now I'm going to draw my new legs in. So this is the vanishing point of the dart and where I stopped, right at that edge, and then the vanishing point and when I pivoted where I started again. Okay. So folding. This is going up and down the body. Okay, this dart's going up and down the body. So that means all this excess paper is going to fold towards center. So that means the leg I'm going to fold is the leg that's closest to center. So I'm going to start at the vanishing point. Starting at the vanishing point, finger here, and then I'm just going to crease all the way across. So I creased right on that line, only to the vanishing point. Now I'm going to close. So I'm going to put my finger where the vanishing point is and take my other hand and just pinch that. Again, this leg is going to lay on top of this leg. And I'm going to create a cup. So I'm creating this cup. There we go. Okay. So now it's looking like a pattern again. And you want that right on top. Okay. All right, so now you can see through this. You can see this is the excess paper. And it is folded towards center. So I need to shape the seam. And where I'm going to shape is right where the dart is folded. So I'm going to shape right along the neck here. So I'm going to take my tracing wheel and just trace around the neck. And when I open this up, you'll see that this is now curved in. It doesn't point out. So I'm going to draw that in. Okay, and there's the shape of my dart. Okay, so the next thing is my markings. Again, my drill hole is a 1/2 inch in from the vanishing point. So I'm going to come into the dart a 1/2 inch, make a little X right there. That's my drill hole. I always circle the drill holes. My grain line is always parallel to center. So I'm going to draw that line all the way up and down. Put my arrows in so I know that this is a grain line and the cutter is not going to cut down that line. My markings also are my name. What this pattern piece is called. This is a front. And what we did was the number 5 position. So there'll be front number 5, size 8, and it'll be 1 self. Okay, so, and then this will be on the fold. There.